Hello students. Today let's start a new chapter which is oscillations. So before this chapter what we have studied already, we have studied about translational motion in case of law of motion or in chapter motion in a plane, motion in straight line. So you have studied all the things regarding to translational motion means if a body translate about a horizontal axis or single means it goes around about a straight line, straight path, then such types of motion is called translatory motion or translational motion. And we have studied a number of laws and properties in case of translational motion. How can we uh, obtain the displacement or equation for translational motion means if it started its journey from this origin means from this fixed frame of reference, then how can we measure the position, the velocity, the time taken by it to or displacement means all these things how can we measure with respect to this frame of reference of this particular body. In case of translational motion we have studied all that with the help of Newton's law of mechanics, with the help of law of equation of motions, and there were so many forms for that, like if the surface is frictional, if we are taking any inclined plane. So for all that conditions how can we calculate the value of displacement or position, and with the help of that we can easily calculate what is the value of velocity dx by dt simple, what will be the value of momentum, what will be the value of kinetic energy. Means it means that simple. In every motion if we have a equation for displacement of the particle with respect to any origin, any fixed frame of reference, then we can easily calculate what is its other property, and we can also means define and we can know other all properties of that particle in that particular motion. So in case of translatory motion we have seen all these things. And also we have seen a second type of motion, that was rotatory motion. In case of rotational motion we have studied a system of particles and other things, means with the help of torque, with the help of angular momentum, angular velocity, and also with the help of moment of inertia we have derived a number of equations, formula, and also what will be the position of any particle in that case also, and what is their velocity, what is their acceleration, what is their momentum, what is their energy if they are rotating around rotating and slipping to an incline from an inclined plane, and such types of all. Means the case of rotation we have studied that if there is the case of pure rotation then what will be the kinetic energy or and other factors. And also we have studied the case of moment of inertia through which we can calculate it, and how can we calculate moment of inertia we have seen that. And in case of circular motion, uniform circular motion, non-uniform circular motion we have studied. After that if two motions are mixed, means if we are taking the example of translational and rotation, then that is called rolling motion. So we have also seen the case of rolling motion, what will be the energy, what will be the acceleration of the particle in case of rolling motion. So we have studied about two types of motion easily, that is translational motion and rotational motion. There is third type of motion also, that is called vibratory motion or oscillatory motion. So first before explaining what is vibratory or oscillatory motion, I just want to explain first what is periodic motion. So by name it is clear that in case of periodic motion there should be a period of revolution. Means if suppose that if there is any particle which repeat itself after a fixed interval of time, then that is known as that type of motion is known as periodic motion. Like for example if we are taking the example of any body which is performing circular motion, then obviously if it starts from this point, then after 2 pi rotation it will comes again to its initial position means all the values of its final position will be equal to its initial position, means the motion is repeating itself after a certain interval of time, that is, suppose that in case of angular that is 2 pi, means after an angle of 2 pi it repeats its motion. Or simple in case of time, you can also predict it, means simple after a certain interval of time, if the particle repeats its motion, its initial position, it occurs its initial position and motion is continuing, then such types of motion are known as periodic motion. Like we have seen the case of trigonometrical functions, and if we plot the graph of trigonometrical functions, suppose that I am plotting the graph of sine wave, so this is such types of this. In case of sine waves, as we are seeing that after a certain interval of time, it is repeating its motion, and here the motion is repeating all the time, so that's why it is also known as periodic motion. So after t time or after 2 pi rotation, it again comes to its original position. So such types of motions are known as periodic. So in nature, in general, we can say that all that motions are periodic, which repeat itself, or the motion which repeats itself after certain interval of time, after a fixed interval of time, regularly or repeatedly, that is known as periodic. Like the motion of earth around the sun, motion of moon around the earth, that time is fixed, means earth will complete the one revolution in a fixed interval of time, and again it will complete second revolution in that fixed interval of time, means that interval is not changing, that is constant. So such types of motion are known periodic motion. So I think concept of periodic motion, that is clear to you. So now let's start on our chapter, that is about the oscillations or oscillatory or vibratory motion. So what is oscillation? As you know that oscillations are simply if something is oscillating or vibrating, means if we can say that if suppose that there is a fixed point and a body start to oscillate around this fixed point, means start to perform to and fro motion about this point, then the such types of motion are known as oscillatory motion or vibratory motion. So simple in case of oscillatory or vibratory motion, as we are seeing that body is performing to and fro motion about its axis. So here a fixed point there should be, that is known as equilibrium position, means if a body is going through and to and fro motion around its equilibrium position, then such types of motions are known as oscillatory or vibratory motion. Like if we hang a bob with a string and we displace the bob, means we give the slight displacement to the bob, then we are seeing that the bob performs such types of motion, that motion is known as oscillatory or vibratory motion. As you have seen the pendulum of a clock, that is also do the vibratory motion, such types of motion. So oscillatory and vibratory motion is very simple, means if there is a fixed point, fixed equilibrium point, and body is going body is performing to and fro motion around that point, then such types of motions are known as oscillatory motion or vibratory motion. So from this discussion you can say that all the oscillatory motions that are periodic in nature, but you cannot say that all the periodic motions are oscillatory in its nature. Like in the case of earth we are taking, the motion of earth, that is periodic, but that is not oscillatory. So here oscillatory motion can be periodic, I mean that will be definitely periodic, because after a certain interval of time it is repeating its motion, so that why it is periodic. But in nature that cannot be, that can be or cannot be, both can be possible, that oscillatory motion can be periodic or cannot be periodic. But oscillatory motion will be periodic, but periodic motion can be oscillatory or cannot be oscillatory. That depends on the conditions or motions of the particle. So if these primary I think explanations and primary description introduction about oscillatory and vibratory motion, that is clear to you. So if this things is clear, then one more actually first let's see some basic topics that are needed to explain this whole chapter, and also that are very important to know, because without basic you cannot understand the other things. So for next topic is that what is harmonic motion. What is harmonic motion? So harmonic motions are that types of motion which repeat itself after a certain amount of time, certain interval of time. Means I'm again talking about the periodic motion, but here the harmonic motions are called only when there is introduction of trigonometrical functions. So if trigonometrical functions like sine, cosine, tangent and other trigonometrical functions are taking in the question, then such types of motions are known as harmonic motion. Means all that motions which are described with the help of trigonometrical functions and that are periodic in nature, that is known as harmonic motion. So it is very simple that suppose if we are talking about the sine wave, so this is the wave form of sine wave, and if this is displacement, this is time. So if we are seeing that this such types of graph is there, means here the time interval is 0 year t by 2 year t. So after a certain interval of time, as you are seeing that it repeats its path itself, means it is also periodic, and also it contains the trigonometrical function in sine wave. So that's why it is known as also harmonic motion or harmonic wave. Means such types of motion is known as harmonic motion, and such types of waves who perform such types of motion, that is a harmonic wave. Later in chapter next chapter I will discuss about harmonic waves, but here only I am just want to talk about the harmonic motion. And such types of motions can be described like a sine omega t. So where y is the displacement of the wave after some time t, and a is amplitude of the motion. Later I will tell you all the factor about the any oscillatory motion, what is amplitude, what is frequency, what is time period. I will tell you all the things. And omega is the angular frequency, and it can be described in terms of frequency of the oscillation, that is known as 2 pi n, where n is the frequency of the oscillation. So with the help of all these things, with the knowledge of all these things, we can calculate what will be the value of displacement in this case, and with the help of this obviously you can easily calculate what will be the value of velocity of the motion, or also with the help of what will be the momentum of the motion, what will be the other values like energy and other things, we can calculate it. So with the help of this equation we will able to calculate such types of information about such types of motion. So this is very simple to know, and here in this chapter we will study about harmonic oscillations, harmonic motion only. Means in whole chapter we will describe our oscillatory motion in terms of trigonometrical functions, and with the help of them we will use directly this equation to represent the displacement of the wave. The next topic is non-harmonic motion. So if motion is non-harmonic, then definitely, as I have told you, the condition for harmonic motion, that is in harmonic motion we have to take the trigonometrical functions. Means the motion which contains trigonometrical functions, or simple the motion which described with the help of trigonometrical function, that are known as harmonic. And in the opposite of that, means the motion which don't contain any trigonometrical function, that are non-harmonic, or the motion which can contain two or more harmonic oscillation, that can be also non-harmonic. So don't be confused with this factor. Suppose that we have such types of graph like this. So this is also waveform, and in this waveform here the wave contains two harmonic motions, and superposition of these two harmonic motions can be represented by such types of wave. So these are these wave have changed frequency and other properties. So this is non-harmonic oscillation. And also besides these trigonometrical function, other all functions are non-harmonic, simply that are also periodic, and that are means the motion which is oscillatory, and that is not containing the trigonometrical function, that is non-harmonic motion. And also that types of motion which contains two or more harmonic oscillations together, and the superposition of that can be different wave. So that's why that can be harmonic or non-harmonic depending on the conditions of the waves which are superimposed over each other. So I think primary and basic descriptions about harmonic oscillations, non-harmonic oscillation, periodic oscillation, oscillatory and vibratory motion, that is all clear to you. There is no confusion in that basics. So if that all topics are clear to you, then let's see some important definitions which will be used to describe the motion of any particle. So the first point which we have to know or explain, that is time period. So what is the time period? Time period is defined as the least interval of time, the minimum interval of time after which the motion repeats itself, that is known as time period. So it means that simple, if we suppose that we have this wave, and here this is between time and displacement of 0 t by 2, this is t. So such types of thing, and in this equation, in this waveform we are seeing that this body repeats itself after certain amount of time. So the time period is what? That is, if the motion, the minimum interval of time after which motion repeat itself, periodic motion repeat itself, that is known as time period of the motion. So suppose we are taking the example of sine wave, and here we are seeing that sine wave is traveling in this form. So in this waveform, as you are seeing that this sine wave is repeating at that point, at this point it's a motion itself, and again it is repeating at this point. So here what is the time period? So the minimum interval of time after which it repeats itself, that is known as time period. So this time will be known as time period of the periodic motion or harmonic motion. So I think the time simple the meaning of time period, that is clear. To also in other form we can explain it, the time taken by the particle in executing one oscillation is known as time period. So if we are talking about the oscillatory motion, then in case of oscillatory motion we can say that here one oscillation is completed, second oscillation is completed here. So in one oscillation the time taken by the particle, that is known as time period, or simple the least interval of time that is taken by a periodic motion to repeat itself, that is known as time period of that motion. So next second concept, that is the what is the frequency of the oscillation. So frequency is what? It is number of periodic motions completed in 1 second. So here suppose that this is periodic motion, this is periodic motion, continually periodic motion is going on, and in 1 second suppose that this periodic motion is completed. So we are seeing that two periodic motions are completed in the 1 second. So what will be the frequency of the oscillation? That will be 2 in this case. So simple frequency of oscillation is can be defined as the number of periodic motions completed in 1 second. And also in other words you can say that number of oscillations done by any particle in 1 second, means in 1 second how many oscillations any particles is executing, that is known as frequency of the periodic wave or harmonic wave or oscillatory motion. So next is after the frequency, after the time period, that what is angular frequency. So what is angular frequency? The angular frequency of any periodic motion, that is defined by the frequency 2 pi times the frequency of the oscillation. So if the n is the frequency of the oscillation and we take 2 pi times of this frequency of oscillation, means if we multiply the period of oscillations in that frequency, so that is known as its angular frequency. So as you know that the angular frequency will comes in the concept when there is any rotational concept. So in that case, as you know that the period of revolution, that is 2 pi. So if we multiply this 2 pi by this frequency, then this is known as angular frequency of the oscillation. So these are the basic things that is needed to know first about the oscillation. What is time period, what is frequency. Repeatedly I will take it in our lesson. So I think there is no confusion regarding to this to you now this time. So the next topic which you have to know, that is the displacement. So what is displacement? Already you know about this. So if any particle that is performing motion, so obviously after some time t, it will be displaced from its position. So how much the displacement at any time t, that is displacement of the motion. And the maximum displacement in the periodic motion, that is known as amplitude of the motion. So as we have taken the, for example, this wave. So here we are seeing that in this is the graph between displacement and time, and we are seeing that here at this point the displacement is maximum. So this is the maximum displacement that is possible in the motion. So that is this maximum displacement is known as amplitude of the motion. So I think what is amplitude, that is now clear to you. What is the amplitude of the motion? So these are the primary things which you have to know. And also the particle which perform oscillatory motion or periodic motion, that is known as oscillator. So I think all the things regarding to the basic concept, that is clear to you. So the next concept, let's see that is periodic function. So what is periodic function? A function which is used to explain or which is used to express the periodic motion, that is known as periodic function. So means periodic motions can be expressed by a term that is known as periodic function. And a function is known as periodic when this function is such types. This is t plus t equal to f something t plus 2t and so on. So if as you know that the function is called periodic when we say that it's the motion repeat itself after certain interval of time. So if suppose that in the question, if it is repeating its interval, that is t, that is time period equal to, means if it is repeating its motion after the t interval of time, then obviously this function will be periodic function, will have these types of property. So f is called periodic function if it follows this condition, means ft is equal to again ft plus t, means again the function repeats its value, and again after 2t times it repeats its value, after 3t time and other so on, means it repeats its value, then this function f is known as periodic function. So I think there is no confusion regarding to the periodic function to all of you. And also we can express the periodic displacement of periodic function in terms of sine or cosine waves. So if I am taking the sine wave, then we can write it a sine omega t, and this can be also equal to a sine omega t plus t, and so on, omega t plus 2t, omega t plus 3t, and so on. We can write this form. And also we can also express it in the form of cosine function, that is omega t a cos omega t plus t, and so on. So I think in this condition there is no confusion. Actually, sorry, here omega should be outside, like this. Okay, now it is clear. So and again we can write here omega t plus 2t, and so on. Means this periodic function can be represented by the this displacement equation, and in this displacement equation we can see that this omega t will be equal to this function. Means we can write here omega t, that is equal to omega t plus t. And also, as you know that this here the period of oscillation, that is equal to 2 pi. So we can write this will be equal to 2 pi. So what will be the value of omega t? That can be written as 2 pi. Sorry, just erase that first. Okay. So the period is 2 pi, then we can write also in place of t, that will be omega t plus 2 pi, or we can write from this equation, that is omega t plus 2 pi, because the periodic function have the period of oscillation that is equal to 2 pi, as I have told you before. So here this value, or we can write what will be the value of angular frequency, that is 2 pi by t. So this can be represented in this way. And also you know that the relationship between frequency and time period, as the time period is the time taken in one oscillation, and the frequency is in 1 second number of oscillation is performed. So you can say that both are reciprocal to each other. Means n can be represented by 1 by t. So in the place of this we can write here 2 pi n. So this is the form of angular frequency that can be represented in terms of frequency and in terms of time period, as this is showing in this figure. Now if this thing is clear, then we can also show that if there is the sum of two periodic functions, means two periodic motions are superimposed over each other, then that will be also periodic motion. So suppose that here there are two motions that are periodic and that are mixing with each other, and after mixing what wave, the resultant wave is whether periodic or not, we can also calculate it. So let's see how can we calculate it. Suppose we are taking one periodic motion is sine of the sine form and one is of the cosine form. So we can write here a sine omega t plus, suppose the second motion that is represented by b cos omega t, right? First motion is a sine omega t, second is b cos omega t. Suppose we are taking the amplitudes of the waves, that is different, and these are there the frequency, angular frequency of both of the waves that are same. If that frequency will change, then motion can be periodic and motion cannot be periodic. But when frequency, angular frequency are same, then in that case the motion will be periodic. We can explain, we can show that. So this is the formula. And in this condition, as the amplitudes are constant, then we can also replace them by other constant. So suppose at the place of a, I am writing r cos phi, and in place of b writing r sin phi, where r and phi are constant. Phi is known as phase of the wave and r is known as amplitude, resultant amplitude of the wave. Suppose there are two waves that are moving, and they are superimposed over each other, and finally one wave is moving in this way. So what is the resultant amplitude of this motion and what is the phase of this motion? Later I will tell you what is the meaning of phase here. So we can calculate it. So let's put these values in this equation. So what will be the final value, that is r cos phi sine omega t plus r cos omega t into sine phi. We can write it in this form also. So after solving this, this is the if we take r common, that is, as you are seeing that this is the form of sine a plus b. So we can write here sine omega t plus phi. So here the final wave equation that is obtained, final motion that is obtained in terms of our sine wave, and as the sine waves are periodic, then we can easily say that the superposition of two periodic motion that is also periodic in nature. It can be proved with the help of this wave. So I think there is no confusion regarding to that, and also you can calculate what will be the value of r and phi in this case. So this is the resultant displacement of two waves which are superimposed over each other. And if you want to calculate what is the value of resultant amplitude, so square them and add them. So after squaring, if we add them, a square plus b square, so that is equal to r square cos square phi plus sin square phi. So the value of this is 1. So finally what will we obtain, that is a square plus b square, that is equal to r square, and in other word you can write here. So with the help of the amplitudes of individual waves, we can calculate what will be the value of resultant wave in this condition. And also we can calculate what will be the value of phi. So let's divide the first by second. So we can write here b by a, that is equal to r will be cancelled out, sin phi by cos phi, and this is equal to tan phi. So tan phi, that is equal to b by a, or phi is equal to tan inverse b by a. So with the help of again amplitudes, we can calculate what is the phase of the resultant motion. So I think what is periodic function and what is the superposition of periodic function, that is clear to you. Later all these things, what is phase, what is superposition, I will clear you. But here I think simple the mixing of two periodic function is also periodic, that is clear to you. So if all these concepts are clear to you, so in next class let's see some more next concepts regarding to oscillation. Today I have just gave you introduction and basic things which are needed to explain any oscillatory motion, that is all. So I think there is no confusion in that also. So let's end the class here guys. In next class we will see the next things. Thank you.